Card Kingdom is my sponsor, and if you're ever in Seattle and are looking for a place to play physical Magic, paper Magic, I can't recommend the Mox Boarding House Seattle or the Mox Boarding House Bellevue locations higher. They are the high point. Show me a better game store in the world, please. I don't think I've seen one. It's my favorite place to play Magic, and besides my kitchen table, that's a pretty cool place to play too. But if you're looking to get out, meet some new people, throw some cardboard down against in a tournament setting, you really got to look up Mox Boarding House if you're in the Seattle area. It's a killer game store. That's all there is to it. And they have a killer website, cardkingdom.com, which you can access through the panels down below in my stream stuff down there. That's my affiliate link. And so if you go to Card Kingdom from there, they know that you came there from here, which is really helpful to me. And they're going to take care of you on all your physical paper Magic needs. Everything you need for your tabletop game, they've got it. Check them out. Excellent prices, fantastic service, and the best average buy prices in the industry if you're looking to convert your old stuff into new stuff. And I really thank them for their ongoing support. And they've got a lot of stuff in the works in October. I'm a little behind, so I'll say this really briefly now, but then I'll get into it more tomorrow. I'm going to take part in a charity event for Card Kingdom that they do every year. And I'll be drumming everything up on that pretty soon and letting you know what the deal is there. And I'm going to need your help with it too. So tomorrow we'll dive into the Card Kingdom charity event coming up, and I'll let you know what you all can do to help me. So in the meantime, let's draft. Hey, Brian. Oh yeah, I don't know if Stanley, if you can only draft on Wednesday night, maybe they can't help you. And there are some other great stores in the area too. But I would definitely check their schedule first. Thanks, Brian. Wow, Heimer, I would be frustrated too. That's so unusual. I would never have predicted that from Wizards. I wonder what's going on. I mean, if I have regularly cited their customer service as one of the high points of the company, and so I'm sorry that that's being frustrating for you, especially about gems. Like this is preventing you from playing. Oh, also, Stanley, if you do make it to Card Kingdom and are in the area, get the number 1 from Un Bien. Now, you're going to hear a lot of people say Paseo is the place to get a pulled pork sandwich around here. But Paseo, there's a whole big thing. Paseo was a Seattle landmark, and still in some ways it still exists, but there's a whole big thing that shifted around, and basically the true Paseo sandwich moved to the restaurant Un Bien. So if you want the best sandwich I've ever had, I'm not lying, like it's number 1. My number 1 all-time sandwich is the Un Bien number 1. So check that out too. What are we taking here? We got Glass Casket, decent removal spell. Our rare is Return of the Wild Speaker. Draw cards equal to the greatest power among non-human creatures you control, or non-human creatures you control get +3/+3 until end of turn. This is an instant, so it serves as a potentially game-winning combat trick. I think between the gems and the power level of this card, we'll probably just take that. Sir Conrad is proving to be quite the house in this format. One of the things you can do with Sir Conrad that is pretty brutal is stock your own library. Use Forever Young late game to just put nothing but creatures on top of your library and then just kind of fireball them with Sir Conrad. That's one way you can do it. Yeah, Dragonfire is your classic solid red removal spell, but let's start with the rare. See if we can build around that. Beanstalk Giant certainly goes along well with this first pick. Adversary as well is a strong green card. What else we got? This doesn't rise up anywhere close to both of these, which are already on color with our first pick. So I think we're just going to take one of these powerful uncommons. And I think we take the Beanstalk Giant. I like this a lot, but this gives us a lot of play. It's effectively a 2-for-1. Allows us to, I was going to say splash, but really it allows us to be a better 2-color deck, you know? Like sometimes you just need to find that 4th forest. So you like Barrage, J-Watt? I think this card is fine, but pretty clunky, right? 5 mana for 5 damage at instant is fine and playable, but you don't want a million of them, and I think we just want the uncommon. Let me get into draft view. We have another rare we could snap up here. This land, just get some gems. What's the cost? Ooh, the cost is Keeper of Fables, which is too high. We'll talk. I'm working up a soapbox around these types of decisions, when to go for gems over a powerful card. But basically, I want it to have more than a 1-for-1 capability, and I want it to be something that if it lands can completely swing a game. You know, that's when it gets to me to be more gem worthy than simply taking a rare. So I am going to take Keeper because it is exactly that. It changes games when it lands. Does cutting green from the bots you're passing to factor into that decision? It can if it's a close call, absolutely. I've said that in a sense the bots are way more disciplined than the average human. Whether or not you think they're great drafters, they're very disciplined, and so if you can send signals, they pick them up and read them and listen to them. So normally sending signals and even now sending signals to the left is not a big priority, but against bots it's more effective, so it's something to think about. We got my my buddy Reaper of Night, like this card, but we got a Griffin as well. I don't know. Curious Pair has overperformed for me, for my expectations. Food is super important, and the 1/3 on 2, if you get there, is not the worst either. Wow, Queen. That is, Queen says, wish me luck. I'm learning coding to update Deckmaster. Well, I certainly wish you luck, because if you can pull that off, I will be happy about that. Feelings on Unicorn. This has been, there's no question it's value. It's a 2-for-1, but is it a good one? It's a lot of mana, 8 mana to get those over time. I don't know. You want to stay 1 color? Yeah, Reaper is you know I like Reaper, but it's probably fine to stay 1 color here. Just because nothing else here is great. I mean, we could take the Unicorn, but I'm kind of in a mode with white in draft now where I want you to prove to me that white is worth playing. When I left the, well, cards had a rating, and early on, bots would take whatever card had the highest rating. And then once it settled into colors, it raised up the value of the colors that it settled in and artifacts, so that colorless cards and the colors they're in rose up above everything else. Yeah, people are asking, like, there's grades, and then there's, like, people are saying, well, we graded this, and this, you know, how can you give this a B when you would take other stuff over it? And it's like, well, its impact on the game is has been B level, but you're capped on the number of them that you want, so that you don't, just because they perform at a B level doesn't mean you need to prioritize them highly in a draft, because you can't just jam 7 of these in. Hey, they're Bs, so I'm going to jam 7 of them in my deck. That would be terrible, right? So, yeah, I'll take Curious Pair, and they're human peasants, and we're a bit on the non-human plan, but it's still not the worst. All right, here we've got a bunch of marginal green, although I do want Fell the Pheasants for sideboard now, because green, Spore Cap, and this is it. This is kind of your anti-flying if you're in green without flyers of your own. Oh, War Furnace, there's a million things you could do. Like, anybody who's thinking that the problem with the bots is that it's an unsolvable problem, that's not it at all. It's a lower priority problem. You guys are on Spider Plan? All right, it also keeps us mono. Maybe we can be mono green and see how that goes. Also, again, nothing here is super great, although picking up a Cauldron Familiar to go infinite with that oven is also... I can't believe we haven't seen that yet. Like, I think we're going to hate Cauldron Familiar Oven by the end of this format. Yeah, everything else is... And also... Cauldron Familiar wants to be heavier black as a 1-drop, so yeah, we'll take Spider. Oven is an uncommon, I think. It's an uncommon or a rare, but I assume it's an uncommon. You can just take a cabin here. This golden egg jumped out at me, but cabin seems on point. You think the egg is better than the cabin? Cabin's like a free spell here. It's enough better, you think? But lands are like free picks. I'm going to take the cabin. I understand those of you who want the egg, but we're probably going to have plenty of playables, in which case we'll be happy to have a cabin. It doesn't get you an egg. Golden egg draws a card and lets you do some splashing. But I'm going to take the cabin on the principle that we are going to have enough playables. And we can take Tempting Witch here and maybe be heavy green, splash a little black to actually use the food tokens. Certainly nothing really better than that here. Unless we want to... Yeah, I don't want to get into red or white for any of this stuff. Witch! And love the late Tree Folk. This card is great. We've got Malevolent Noble. We could pull a Spectre Shriek for the board. And and Wildwood Tracker. Well, it kind of attacks as a 2/2 in this deck, but I don't know. Yeah, Noble can eat food. It's just kind of... I'm hoping to be more green than this, honestly. I would like to be... With where we're headed, I would like to be like 12-5. And as soon as we start putting Nobles in our deck, then I don't think we can be that. Yeah, we could take Prophet of the Peak to support staying open, but we're green. Generally, green is not looking for colorless 6-drops. They're looking for green 6-drops. No, I have not great love for the Ginger Brute. It might be the pick here just because if we pick up multiple Tree Folk and other decent +1/+1 countering, then I can run a Ginger Brute. And it is food. I think we'll take the Ginger Brute, but we're probably not going to play it. But I want, if we end up with like 2 or 3 of these, then I will play the Brute. Because if you unload a couple of counters onto the Ginger Brute, then we're in business. So I'll do that. Oh, good. Well, maybe they're watching my stream. They're like, geez, we need to help out this Heimer guy. I'm sorry it took so long. They're usually much better than that. That's disappointing, but I'm glad they did finally get to you. Ooh, I have a coffee on my nose. You think you would have a tough time getting out of that little container, but there you go. All right, yeah, we'll take Fell the Pheasant for the board here. Yeah, this is going to attack as a 3/3, probably fairly often in our deck if it keeps going the way I want. We've got Beanstalk Giant, Tree Folk, and Curious Pair already working this angle. Wow, Cauldron Familiar came back, so we'll snap that up. Maybe we'll find an oven and do some stuff. Hey, now. Check that out. Although we do have an Innkeeper. Oh, would love this Innkeeper, would love this Epic Downfall, would love this Revenge of Ravens, would love this Bake into a Pie. We're going to get Revenge of Ravens on the wheel, of course. Although Bake into a Pie, double black, also starts to pull us away from our intended direction. But I'm going to go ahead and take the land and weep as we pass this sweet stuff. But yeah, I don't know how the bots think of Innkeeper, but I'm taking that rare. Reeve Soul, nice, but we can grab a Sir Conrad here. Once in future, let's check this out though. Return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Put up to one other target card from your graveyard on top of your library. Oh yeah, this is like draw 2, right? Well, what do you think? This is a tough one. Sir Conrad is one of the early kind of mythic uncommons, but this is like draw 2 excellent cards in the late game. So I'll see what you all think of this one. This is worth a quick poll. We'll do a 20-second on SYR versus Once. Seer versus Once. Once in future wheels. Oh, that's good to know. Maybe we'll take if people have experience with this wheeling, maybe we can try wheeling it. Oh, did I screw up the poll? Sorry. I'll take a look at the go ahead and vote anyway, and I will how did I screw that up? Isn't that correct? Exclamation point, poll, a time length, and then 2 things. Huh. Anyway, let's see. Seer. I don't think we take Reeve Soul here. Yeah, Conrad's double black. I get that. But this removal is just like, this even might wheel. I've seen this come around late. I'm gonna take Sir Conrad. Out Muscle could be some first removal for us, or Occam Adversary is another tough one. Because yeah, we do need some removal. Out Muscle is solid on that front. But this is so good. All right, we'll take removal, but I'm lamenting having to pass this. This is great. Could draw some cards or just stay big. I'm gonna stay big. Nothing here for us, basically, except the Curious Pair. Carver provides us more adventuring, if indeed the... What we have some... What's our adventure... Don't we have adventure stuff right now? What was our... Or am I forgetting it? Maybe it was that we passed the one. Squire. We also take just Reaper here. I don't want the giant opportunity. Take Reeve Soul, Reaper, or Carver. Yeah, I guess we take Reeve Soul. All right. This is where I like... That's about where I like Reeve Soul, though. A little bit later. Hey, all right. Let's do it. Maybe we'll wheel the other one. There's a lot of bounce in the format, and if you can get that 7/7 down on turn 3 or whatever, congrats. But I find, you know, an infinitely chumpable 7/7 is just kind of whatever. Yeah, we're gonna take a return to nature and put it in the side and consider it main depending on how the deck looks. All right, here's our wheel. So we did not wheel any of the stuff we wanted, really. We'll take the rider. That's all. That's a fine pick 9. Hey, whoever called the wheel here, it was right on it. Well done. I put a poll to see if we should have taken this 8 picks ago. Here's a Forever Young we can grab. I wasn't going to pass that uncommon for Forever Young, but here's one. Here's a good one. Here's a good time for Forever Young. And here's one of the reasons I do not like that 7/7 Giant token. Runaway Together is a solid card in this format. But we'll take another Ginger Brute. Maybe we'll move in on Brutes. See, even the bots are with me on this. We'll decide if we're going to play that. I question whether we will. I question what I've done to deserve this pack. I think we just take the rare and wheel Witch, Reaper, or Squire and are okay with that on the wheel. All right, love this in the heavy green deck. Might wheel this pair as well, but this is great. This is great. This is great. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Guess we got to take the rare. Look, there's bacon to a pie. Woo. Pass that. Nah, let's not get greedy on the goalie there. This is so I'm a little annoyed with Run DMC. So my theme, of course, is pretty obvious this week. It's fairy tale pop songs, but I'm also trying to do Wooburg fairy tale pop songs, and Run DMC conflated Peter Peter Pumpkin Eater with the Pied Piper and called it Peter Piper, which I don't quite understand, but I'm giving them credit for Piper of the Swarm on that song. So I think we're going to take the rare, both gems and playability. But it's asking a lot, man. Yeah, we're gonna do this anyway. I'm taking it. It's rare. We're weak. I also don't love any of these enough to not take this rare. I'm just gonna rare. We're just taking more rares. Nice. Oh, there's a Reeve Soul. What do you think? Are we Reeving or Witch Stalkering? I kind of just want to turn sideways here. It makes food as well. All right, here is a Reaper we can finally pick up. I really like this card. It's just that you don't need to prioritize it because of exactly this. You can just grab one. Did Peter Piper pick pickled peppers? Maybe he became the Piper. Well, whatever. It said Piper in it. Maybe I'm the one who's got his fairy tales mixed up. I'd rather have this than Memory Theft. This isn't an expensive big guy. This is a discard 2. I just apologized. Sorry, Run. Sorry, DMC. There you go. I'm still taking the Piper side of that for my theme, though. Do we want 2? I guess we can take a Memory Theft from the board, but I don't think I want to main deck this. And having 2 of these main actually just increases the chances that you're going to get them. I think I'm going to take Reaper again. Here we go. Here's where we Reeve Souls. All right, well, if I knew this was coming, we could have, but I actually want this anyway. Let's take Tempting Witch. Second Witch. We're never playing this. Well, I think we're in the right colors. What are we doing? We can finally take a Memory Theft, but we can have a second Return to Nature. Some decks are going to will happily bring in 2 of these. War Furnace likes the sideboard artifact hate. All right, I'm with you. And this is what I was hoping, that we'd get one of these Curious Pair to wheel around. I don't think we want Wolf's Quarry, even though 3 little pigs would make some nice food. What did I take over Revenge of Ravens? I believe we rare drafted the Castle Garenbrig. Hey, we got a Memory Theft anyway. There you go. All right. Well, here we are. Heavy green. 6 cuts. Only got 1 Tree Folk, so I'm maybe less interested in the Brutes here. I don't think we can get... Although, with Keeper of the Fables, maybe the Brutes are worth it. What do you think, Ginger Brute, Keeper of the Fables? Is that combo good enough? Maybe not. I'll finish the deck first, then we can do that, Fenor. Yeah, Overcome. Also, the Henge Hammer could do some work with Brutes. Oh yeah, thank you. Let's get rid of Opportunity. Maybe we could leave Spider in the board, but there seems to be enough flying to probably keep that in the main. Cut this Cauldron Familiar. We didn't get any combo action there. Maybe one of the Curious Pairs can go. 26. Let's go up here. Gecko Skin wants to cut the Brutes. Maybe is correct. Well, let's put Reapers here where they belong. I kind of like 2 over 1, actually, if it all works. Oh, this was our adventure trigger dude. Yeah, probably this. What if we cut the Brutes? And then we need to find 1 more cut, or we can... Yeah, I don't want to go to... we don't have enough removal, I think, to cut either of these Reeve Souls. It sure seems like... It sure seems powerful. How many non-humans? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if we keep both of those. 6, 7, 8, 9? 9 non-humans. And Innkeeper gets 1, 2. That's another reason to keep both Reapers is the Innkeeper, but we get... I mean, of course, you have to get to 7 before that actually happens. 1, 2... 3, 4... 5, 6. 5 or 6, depending on Reaper. You may be right, Mensch. I might be clinging to this unnecessarily. Like, maybe this is not in the plan. I mean, it's clunky. Well, Squire's curve filling. I know, right? I should probably... All right. Yeah, we can maybe cut the Squire. But we only have... This isn't a 2. These aren't 2s. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2s. We have 5 2s. Which brute? The brutes are already gone. Oh, you'd rather have a brute over the Squire. Well, right now they're all gone, so... What do you say we try this, and we can come back and make changes if we feel it's warranted. And... follow Peter. You'd consider cutting Sir Farron? I think you're wrong, Casual. I think this is great for us. I mean, we're going to adjust the... Another target... Why don't you like Sir Farron? He's... Yeah, but we can. We do have... oh, we guess we passed that one dude. But we do have Tree Folk. And it's a 2/2 for 2. Like... yeah, the floor here... I think you're undervaluing the floor in a heavy green deck of just being a bear. Yeah, let's start here. We'll see how it goes. Let's tick this down a little bit, though. Maybe I kind of like... $11,6. Yeah, he's riding a bear, and you know, first he had to show the bear who was boss. Then he started riding it. Is that him? I don't know if that's him in the out muscle. Looks like green. Yeah, maybe it is. Is this Sir Farron capturing his mount? Awesome. We have Beanstalk Giant, mind you. So it's really 11-7. And if Sir Conrad comes down late, that's fine. I'm going to start here. But you're right. I mean, that's the edge. It's like 7 swamps or 6 is the real question. But because we have Beanstalk Giant, I feel like we have 7, so I'm fine with that. All right, I'll camp out over here. Let's try it. Well, let's see. Sir Conrad says... I do think tokens do go to the graveyard, so it's a question of whether it says non-token or not. Yeah, looks like it does. Well, we are effectively an 18-land deck with that giant. Huh. Not amazing, but we do have a 2 and some removal. We need to draw some spells, but I'm going to keep this. We have a 2 and we have removal for their early drop. And yeah, we could flood out. This is the problem here. We should expect some level of flood. We do have flood protections in the giant and the Piper activations and stuff, so We can win even when we flood, but hopefully we draw some spells. Thank you. We'll adjust the record here. That is not a spell. Enough of that, deck. The internet is kind of broken today. If TweetDeck doesn't start working again, I'm going to quit the world. What do I do without TweetDeck? Hey, no, wait. No. Oh, come on. Well, like I said, we somewhat signed up for this. I'm going to run out of swamp right now. But that's pretty rough. Back-to-back lands. Here, let's scare Oppo. I'm going to put a full control bluff on. Actually do this. That's something to do. I don't know. Why not, Irish? Make them think. Nobody knows this set yet. Yeah, I think it was right to keep. I'm not going to like second, you know, there's some risk in the keep, and sometimes that risk comes and knocks you in the face, and so that's the way it goes. All right, we can Reave a Soul and make a wit. Do we even need to Reave Soul yet? I'm gonna actually hold off on the Soul Reave, and we'll drop a Witch and make the Rat instead. I think I played the Rat once, the Piper in Sealed before, and one of my mistakes was not ratting enough early with it. Yeah, we'll try and not send this into open mana, but I'm not going to do it at this moment. If you're on Team Soul Reave, that's cool, but I'm trying to do a different approach with the Piper this time. There we go. At least we got some value out of that. Kind of 1.5 for 1 on the Reave Soul there. That's okay. This is good. We're trading resources 1 for 1. If we can just draw some action, I like our end game. Now we got Reave Soul choices. Piper is fine. Was Witch correct? Yeah, I like building out my board. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe if we do it in the other order, we just save 3 damage and we're dropping a Witch right now and it wouldn't have mattered. It's an interesting question. I'm going to Reave the Flyer. We don't really have much to do to stop that. Black has so many tools at common and has kind of busted rares and some excellent uncommons, so it seems far and away the best color, almost to a really Wizards. You didn't see how powerful Black was here, but maybe they've played it more than we have and see things we don't yet. But I don't know. I wouldn't mind if find a Reaper right now. Reaping their last 2 cards and then making a big flyer would be nice. Not the Reaper, but pretty decent. I'm a little worried about this open mana, though. Do you want to run the Beanstalk Giant into open mana? Feels risky. I'm going to attack. Maybe they'll do something. We do technically have an attack here. Doesn't have Menace anymore, right? Menace was a Piper thing. Maybe I missed a Menace attack with the Piper once and didn't notice, but it definitely doesn't have Menace now. I kind of want, you know, if Oppo wants to do something here to clear the way for us doing the Beanstalk Giant, that's fine. Yeah, that's right. It was made in response. My memory goes back about 12 seconds, then it stops. Where am I? Yeah, I'm going to be patient here. I really don't want to send that. Because if we try to cast the adventure and they counter that, we don't get the giant either. Of course, they could now reap our hand. Oh yeah, I've seen Memento. I think I saw Memento in the theater. Remember, I'm old. Mabinap wants to start pinging with the witch. I guess we have to ask ourselves what else we're doing with our food. We've got the elf rider that can lure. Well. All right, I'm gonna give them the Beanstalk Giant. What? Let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have. Oh, we don't have both. We can't do both. Can't do both. But I really don't want to just sit here on these and then have them both stripped. It sure feels like a counterspell, though, right? Don't spoil the beginning. That's funny. Very funny. All right. I feel like we have to try here. We do have... Yeah, let's adventure the giant, because if they're bluffing and they don't have it, then we get to drop Conrad as well. And we do have a Forever Young in here, so we can get the giant back even if they counter. If they counter without exile here, we can get the giant back. But oh man, you got to be kidding me! It was the mistake. It was a mistake. We could have casted Conrad. Oh well. We knew that was a possibility, so that happened there. But hopefully that means Conrad will land next turn. I'm not going to do the witch thing yet. We do have some other uses for food in our deck. Marleaf Rider. We have another Tempting Witch, so if one gets killed, we can probably get that back. Oh, we have Once in Future also to get back stuff from the yard. So the counter spell is not going to hurt us too badly in the long game. But honestly, looking through our deck, we actually don't have much to do with our food besides chuck it with Tempting Witches, so you're maybe not wrong to think to start doing that. Yeah, we didn't end up with a Noble. I really don't see any other synergies for our food other than the Tempting Witch chucking poison apples around and the Marleaf Rider doing the lure thing. Prescient there, Gecko Skin, as we're now facing a really tough flyer. I've never had a Bog Naughty. I'd sure like one. It's going to start wrecking our team. Yeah, Conrad will get through at least. A+, James. Interesting that it's pausing for Oppo. They can't activate this. They can't activate this. What do we got for single blue instant in the format? Anybody know? Tiny. Thank you. Yeah, that's it, right? So Tiny has got to be in their hand. Good call. Chat. Yeah, Opt also. We got two possibilities. Hopefully it's Opt. Hopefully it's Opt. And we could play the Innkeeper. It costs us a Conrad activation, but it gets in under counter magic and prevents against their possible Reaper. So I'm going to go ahead and play this, even though it costs us one. You like Conrading better. Given the presence of Reaper in the format and their obvious, the fact that they do have some counter magic, I do want to get this down. Really? Wow, Heimer, I'm very disappointed that WotC's not helping you better here. That's pretty ridiculous, actually, that you have paid money for gems, don't have them yet, and their answer to you is just wait. That's not great, Wizards. I'm gonna have to revise my praise of your customer service if you can't help Heimer here. Heimer, if you're really feeling your oats, if you're building up a head of steam over this, which I wouldn't blame you for, you could just actually call their helpline. You know, like talk to a human being and be firm but polite and say, "Look, I do not want to wait. I have given you my money to play your game. Please give me resources." Like, they are fully capable of injecting free gems into your account if they thought it was worth it. And my history with their customer service department would suggest that they do think that's worth it. I'm very surprised at how they're handling your case, actually. Oh yeah, I didn't see what they did with Scry. Maybe you can let me know. I'll look up. Somebody find Wizards of the Coast customer support telephone number for Heimer. Thank you, chat. Go get him, Heimer. You deserve your cards, dang it. Or you deserve your gems. Now then, liking the Forever Young, but I'm going to start by... So we have 3 mills with Conrad. They topped. If we activate once, they might try to activate the Witching Well to draw the 2, but then we can respond to the Witching Well activation by doing it 2 more times. So really, it's probably going to take a triple mill. but that's where we're going to start here. And now that we've stripped away their known top, I'm just going to pass. We feel like they have... We're probably both of us in... Yeah. Oh, no, we're not at minus whatever. Yeah. With Conrad, we can just start getting super aggro, right? No, we cast it after, like, let's let a bunch of stuff die and then we'll do it. To be fair, James, Arena is doing a lot more complex you know, it requires a lot more power for what it's doing than MTGO, so we'll see. So tiny incoming. I think we're still at 6/6 though, so right now it should still kill the witch. Sure. No, I don't want to activate because I want to Forever Young now. Get him back. And let's go. I guess we get to order later, right? We want all these. I don't know. I've never been a technical designer, so it's hard for me to say what exactly is a resource hog versus not. We want giant last because we're going to do the sorcery that shuffles everything anyway. Let's do it like this. All right, they're main phasing that, which is good because it puts shields down for Conrad and the Piper. But I'll say this, if you all are right that this game shouldn't be as tough on resources as it seems to be right now, then I do have faith that the engineers at Wizards will figure that out. Yeah, I didn't think about Reaper Defense in my ordering. I just kind of ordered them in the order I liked them, but you could absolutely do that. What dialogue? Doesn't look like they're a mill deck, though. I think it's certainly more reasonable to fear the Reaper than the mill. So they've almost certainly got a counterspell to mill us. That's what they're representing here. But we're also at 11 to their 13. We have some food to chuck. And while we may lose Beanstalk Giant and Seer Farron, we can at least... Well, I'm not about to complain about anybody's slow play. I'm a very slow player, so... well, the Reaper isn't a fairy tale, right? There's no clear fairy tale with there. Well, we'll go Conrad. The question is, yeah, we'll go Conrad because if they counter this, then we can resolve the Piper. And then I think we can survive long enough to steal the Bognaughty. Ooh. And I think maybe they agree and are like, they don't want us to cast the Piper. All right, well, I'm just gonna... I don't really care about this, so yeah, I'm just gonna deny them this counter. Counter/removal. And now... I guess we won't suicide the Innkeeper, but maybe that's fine. Oh yeah, we want the rats to rebuild on Piper. Okay, we'll just send these two. We'll send them. Rat doesn't have Menace yet. It will have Menace when I Piper. Remember, the Menace is on the Piper, not the Rat. I may do a soapbox on this later, but I did want to mention that I've been thinking a lot about how the food mechanic is kind of, in a sense, a return of energy, but a much better deployment of an energy style mechanic. Energy being counters on a player, I think, is worse for the game as an interaction point than putting your energy on the battlefield as artifacts that can be interacted with and used differently. So I kind of see this as almost a revision to the energy mechanic to make it more fun, frankly. All right, maybe it's been opt this whole time. Oh, maybe it was so tiny the whole time. Whoa. Well, we get to resolve our Piper, but we have to start eating food here. Well, I'm glad you gave him a call. I'm sorry that's been so frustrating. I really wish they would take care of you better, though. Hopefully they were... I bet you had at least someone very nice on the line being very kind. We're going to take swamps so that Sir Conrad can do his thing more. And let's see, they're down to one available swamp. I can't think of a reason not to attack here with at least this, and this. And then we can keep the witch and decide whether we want to chuck food, eat food, etc. And Innkeeper is worth keeping because we're about to cast a Beanstalk Giant. Zala's like third-party transaction tech. Well, the good news is, I mean, if we decide we want to activate Conrad, we can do that before we untap. You know, we have 3 things we can do before we untap. Which Conrad eat, we'll decide as we go here. They got a fistful of fresh cards. And with this level of damage, maybe we're going to go throw food, Conrad for the win. I don't think we're making the rat. We can't anyway. Piper's summoning sick. But right now we have them dead if either of us has a land anywhere near the top of our library, right? Like, they need to make food and throw it at the witch. We don't care about that at all. We're going to win without attacking now. The thing that that they could win with is finding more food of their own. That doesn't help either, because we're just going to take the Bognati damage. They can hit us for 5, and that's fine. How do they make the food? That's not what this does. You're good, but we don't need you right now. We're gonna go... Well, we should start with Sir Conrad until we see that damage. Let's find a damage here. Come on now. Don't do this. No, Revenge of Ravens. You want to Reaper him? No, that we just lose if we do that. We got one more shot. If there's no creatures between 6 of our top cards, that's really rough luck, but we're gonna... Come on. There we go. Thank you. My God. That was close. I did not expect it to take the last activation, but we got there. Woo! All right, blue-black versus blue-green. What do we got for this matchup in our colors? Ginger Brute. Yeah, I think we bring in 1 Return to Nature at least. We could bring in a Memory Theft for maybe one of the Reapers. And yeah, Fell the Pheasant, also probably fine here. We got to figure out what we're cutting for that. Let's cut one of these. I thought I cut a Reaper. Did I cut something incorrect? What did I cut some... Oh, accidentally here? What's going on? No. I think we do like our food. If we cut the pair, then the Innkeeper gets pretty bad because we've already cut a Reaper. Yeah, all right. Shoot. All right, I'm going to cut a pair because I got to make a call. Don't like that, though. Maybe I should just cut the innkeeper. I'm happy we beat that big flyer. That was dangerous. You're not crazy, Scott. But I think of Gingerbrute as a build around. When we took them, it was on the premise that maybe we'd pick up some more of those tree folk, and then I'd be okay with running the Gingerbrutes, because if you can get it to be a 3/3 or whatever, then it seems pretty nice. But I would call it build around. I don't just want to throw a Gingerbrute in my deck, even an aggressive one. Hey, Zach, what's up? Yeah, if you get equipment that you're happy to be playing otherwise, that's good too. Nice thing about the Innkeeper is that it's scary on turn 1 to any Oppo. This might end up eating a Soul Reave just out of panic from Oppo. And if we play Piper and it doesn't get Soul Reave, we know they don't have one. Yeah, me too. Skewer, not a lot better, but Skewer is definitely a little better than I thought. It's still pretty clunky. You know, that's a lot of mana to get it going. But you can put people into a damned if you do, damned if you don't spot when it comes to that card. You're a queen of ice. Maybe I should just make my own memes. You love it, Mama. Come on. You know you love it. Especially when it's 70s classic rock. I got your number. Is that 70s? Could be early 80s, I guess, with Foreigner. I'm going to play the Rider rather than make a rat here. Yeah, Gecko. The 3 is no joke, but if you can put it on something good, it can really do a nice job until you have to move it. But I hear you. It may just, it's like partly this is a grindy enough format that you can do things like spend 3 mana to re-equip. Wah ah ah ah. We're gonna get that eventually. We're gonna find our window, but I want a Beanstalk Giant first here while we can. And actually, maybe we're supposed to get swamps. Like, we didn't end up with huge, you know, mega green payoffs, and we're gonna find our own. This make sure we can cast Conrad if we find him. Not going to snap it off because I really want to work our mana back up. We missed a drop there. They're going to have to, you know, if they don't want to cast anything, that's fine. We're not going to cast Return to Nature into open mana. Hey, look. Swamp worked out all right. Now we're going to make a rat and return this to nature. And if they want to trade for the rider here, that's fine with us too. Yeah, the paladin is, I think, the only thing. Oh, we also have the take from your graveyard and take 2 from your graveyard that gets better with 3 green, but that's a late game card anyway. I think it steals creatures. Yeah. That was just a top-down flavor thing. The Piper steals your children, not your weird enchantments. Right, James? It's really tough to find spots to make the Piper, which I think is why Mensch was suggesting that this might not even be a Piper deck, that it can be very difficult to find your spots to make them. And if you spend a lot of your early mana on ratting up, and then like, okay, you make your, heck, maybe you're even tapping for your 3rd rat, and then it gets destroyed, like, okay, you've made 3 rats for 8 total mana. That's a rough cost to pay during developing. It's just really tough to spend mana inefficiently during developing. If you spend mana inefficiently during developing, you can get run over. Also, my problem with the Forever Young meme is that I kind of loathe Rod Stewart, and I kind of loathe the what is it, Alphaville, or the other band that made the, like, I don't like either of the major Forever Young songs. I don't know. Sometimes an artist hits you wrong. Like, I'm not one to bash earnest creation of art. So Rod Stewart, if you're listening, I'm sorry. You're obviously a talented singer and a talented guy. Your music just has never hit me square in the brain the right way. But I don't mean to be insulting. I'm so respectful of anybody who makes earnest art, is the bottom line. But I don't have to consume it if I don't like it personally. The faces are definitely Stewart at his best. Yes. Oh shoot! I was talking. I thought it was their turn. Sorry, that was bad. That was just chat punt. But so it goes. Do we want to? I don't like this open mana. They didn't cast this Queen of Ice, so. Yeah, we'll get there. It's all right. Should we try reaving this and let him counter it? No, I don't think so. We can just sit here and make rats. I'm going to remember to make rats this time. And then we'll make them have something. But I'll keep attacking here. Yeah, it's really bad, though. They should be, they're going for, we should be attacking with a menace rat right now. Yeah, let's be clear. It wasn't a chat punt, it was a chatting punt. Nobody did anything to me in chat. And nobody in chat suggested anything that was incorrect. I just got distracted. Who am I rooting for in the playoffs? I don't know who's in the playoffs, Zach. I only play team draft. I literally don't know who's in the playoffs. I won my baseball league and I have no idea who's in the playoffs. All right, where are we at here? I don't want to do anything. We're just going to make rats. Major League Baseball. I guess the Nationals are in. I guess I'm rooting for the Nationals. I'm very weird, Zach, but I lost my ability to sit through a baseball game doing nothing else but paying attention to the baseball game, right? Like, I just can't. The idea of spending 3 hours just focused on a single baseball game is now just not even on my radar. And so the way that we play our league, I just have to look at the stats of teams and pick teams. And I don't even look at the standings. I look at the standings in the third draft, but then I don't really care actually about what's happening in the league. I did have it, Nantuko. I did have that ability at some point in time. There was a time where it physically pained me if I wasn't at least listening to the day's Mariner game. I'm just gonna do this now before I forget. I'm a guy who argues balls and strikes over the radio when I'm into it. Hey, we got it. That's a quote from The Simpsons from James. That's a great episode. Homer decides to stay sober for like a month or something, and he goes to a baseball game, and he just can't even fathom why anybody would go there if they weren't drinking. What up, Robert? Robert Schuster in the house. I've just like sports has started to become. I love. Okay, quick aside on sports. This won't be a long soapbox because we got games to play, but my in my 20s and 30s, I was about as big a sports fan as you could possibly imagine. Local sports, Seahawks, basketball, baseball, everything, and then. I started playing fantasy sports, and on the one hand, that increased my knowledge of the sports that I loved, because suddenly I was looking way outside my local homer sports and would start paying attention to all these teams. But as I started paying attention to and rooting for other teams because of my fantasy interest, it did erode my status as a fan of my individual teams. And then I started, as a gamer, I started to become more passionate about that which I could control. I can control my fantasy sports teams. I choose who goes in. I make these decisions that matter to my results. And ultimately, I started to look at the teams I loved as, again, as like, as Seinfeld once put it, as rooting for clothing. Like, I do want the Mariners to win. I get that cities have teams and they are bigger than the people that make them up. But I have no control over what the Mariners do. I have no control over what any of these teams, any of the decisions they make. So, like, I'm rooting for clothing on the decisions of other people because of where I happen to grow up. And so it's really eroded my passionate love of individual teams, even though I still love watching. Like, I like watching football a lot because of the athleticism on display. So anyway, I'm a sports fan for the athleticism, but I've really lost touch with rooting for clothing. So I still love sports, but it's hard for me to care too much about the decisions of other people. So there you go. Yeah, hacking that. Steven is speaking also to why it feels so weird. All I know is every time I hear fantasy sports, my brain goes right to Blood Bowl and Quidditch. Oh man, you want a a rant, a soapbox, get me going on the design of Quidditch. That is the worst designed game of all time. That may be hyperbole, but it's clearly a game designed by a writer, not a game designer. Not going to block because we have more power than they do, and we've got this Soul Reeve that can eat up Seer Farron if they play something here that makes us a little worried. Don't push that button right now, Irish. You can tell me, push that button later, and I will, or if we bomb out of this, or if there's a little extra time, I can rant about Quidditch later. Hey, that's pretty good to get that. Yeah, I kind of just want to... What do we want to do here? We have Beanstalk Giant that we could get some land with. We can Reeve a Soul. If we attack with the Rider, maybe we'll just offer the Rider for their mana dude. I'm going to attack and offer the Rider here. The Acolyte's pretty good. They might not even block because they're... Hey, thank you. Yeah, now let's kill the mana dude since they didn't block it. And then we can get Seer Farron with the next one. And here we are again in a green-black matchup. It seems like it's dominating Arena right now. And Irish, thank you for gifting that sub to Fresh. I will say that a big reason I'm a huge NFL fan, American football fan, is that it's turn-based strategy. The NFL is turn-based strategy, and Europe, international football is real-time strategy. And you know me, I'm a turn-based strategy guy. Now I actually like going ahead and making this Rider big. Right? What else can we do here? Yeah, I like this. Let's make the Rider big. They can't block it. Cracks for 5. Sets up our Tree Folk for 6 mana. Hey, Hat. Oh, where's Hat? Where's Hat when you need him? Get wrecked. And we'll offer the Rider for the Bognaughty. I did just Reeve their Reaver. That's nice. We got our Forever Young. We could use some land. Let's see. We can Beanstalk Giant for some land and then Reeve the Seer Farron. I like that. But let's make sure we do it this way. I'll speak to that design question in just a second here, but I want to Reeve Farron. James says, do you think it's correct design to ask you which side you want to cast when you can only afford one side? It's a little annoying, but I think there's something about, there's some clarity there that's still valuable. So, boy, the Giant's still going to get us. This is, you know, this is frustrating. We do need some land here, or we're kind of in trouble. Might need to cycle Forever Young even just to look for land. Let's see. Maybe we'll think about that. It's tempting. Yeah, Robert's giving some good answers here. But basically, there's a communication reason to do it. Also, ease of, like, potentially maintaining a system. But I think there's value in saying, yep, we know that this thing does two things. Definitely going to play this. I think this is going to be enough of a problem at our 12 life that we need to cycle Forever Young looking for land. Not great, but maybe we can drop down enough D here to survive. It's true, Valhallas, but now you're talking about stuff, about edge case stuff. All right, I'm gonna not chump here yet. Right, the thing is, sometimes you might want to actually do that, Brian, so it's tough. It's tough. All right, we're gonna play Conrad. We're gonna chump with the Witch, and then we can follow with another creature that can block the Giant. But Magic is full of all these places where it's like 99.9% of the time, literally, you don't even need this other option. But if you're in the 1 in 1,000 case where you do, you're going to be furious if you can't do it. Really part of the big challenge of making digital Magic is exactly that. Yeah. Huh. This makes me feel dead. Like they have a pump spell, and we block, and then they pump for the win. So I'm expecting to die here, but we're going to, of course, make them have it. And let's see. We can do it this way, and I'm going to do it this way. They don't have the mana to make Malevolent Noble lethal on its own. And we really need Conrad around next time. Although I don't know how we win from here. I'll go, if they sack this, yeah, we'll just do this. We'll do this and cross our fingers. Okay, got some land. What can we do with this and not die? We need another chump. We need to eat here. Take... Well, no, now we're just dead. Yeah, we're just dead. Okay. Man, we had a nice start, but we choked a little bit on land, and it was just... Yeah, that's true. I guess desperation attack is the way to do it, right? Maybe we get a lucky win out of here. Gotta make them... decide. Oh, shoot. Good call. Well, make him nervous anyway. We do have food. Maybe there was a line to survive that we actually should have explored. But we need to cast a Spore Cap Spider, eat food. I think if we cast Spore Cap and ate food, we could manage to not die, but I don't... Well, activating Conrad twice can't possibly get it done, right? Man, too bad. Wow, they really let us... If we had the pump spell, we would just win right here. I don't want to show them this. Oh, it can't. I thought it was... all right, well, yeah, then we'll take our shot. I gotta read my cards. There's a lot of text here, right? I was just thinking that if it found 1, it deals 1, but it does it for each one. So, 1 time dealer, 1 time dealer, 4 times, 3 times dealer. Nope, that was it. All right. Now we, well, we'll take a look. See if we get any info about them. Yeah, it was a good line. It was a good line. It gave us a shot to win. Huh, what do you know? Green-black food mirror. Not seen that yet. This minute. This 30 seconds. I have the same fears, James. I gotta say, I'm not loving the grindiness of the gameplay so far. But maybe I'll like it better as a best of 1. I'm actually looking forward to best of 1. Do we need to bring anything in? I think we're just running this back. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Mensch. We could have, but then I don't know how we win from there. Then I think we're just doomed on the follow-up. But maybe we get in with Conrad and can win. That gave us a shot too, though. So that was interesting. There were a couple lines that we had long shot ways to try and eke out a win. But we took a line that gave one of those. All right, yeah, maybe we could play. Maybe this is a place for giant opportunity. They're not playing bounce, so I'm happier to bring that in against non-bounce. Running out of time here, though. What if we try this? I still don't think this is impactful enough. Phil's building up gold for the eventual best of 1. Yep, good call. All right, keep this. Thanks, Robert. I don't find the kitty... The kitty did some work against me in one match I played offline, but I don't know. I don't know if the kitty is worth it to me. We're gonna start with the tapped cabin here, not get greedy on that front. This makes food and this makes food, so we can giant opportunity on like turn 5. I have not played with a single clover yet, but I have played against multiple clovers, and playing against multiple clovers is brutal. I do look forward to drafting around Clover. It's pretty powerful if you can build around it. I think we had a Shriek we could have brought in, but I'm not even sure it's great on the out of the board. Where'd they take? The Reeve. Okay, well, I suppose we can expect some Reavin. Or some things they don't want to die. We took the Garrick instant rare. Cool, we found the land. That's why they needed to get rid of our Soul Reeve, our Reef Soul, because the Savvy Hunter is important to them. But we're going to do this and see if we can't get there with a Giant. I'm starting to like Giant Opportunity as a sideboard card against more traditional removal. What I don't want is this token to get bounced. Wow, 2 Clover Mill deck is going to get some work done. Yes, Jason. If you don't get run over. Sounds like you ran over... Sounds like their library got run over by you. James is on a roll today. You can call him Butta. Or you can mute him, depending on your comedy preferences. No, I should talk about the set review. I've basically abandoned the set review, but I learned a lot. Wow, they know we're going to do this. I would think they would want to... And boy, I'm snap trading this off. Yep. Although, I suppose Adversary makes for a much less interesting Giant Opportunity. Preliminary rankings would be black way at the top, then kind of blue and green, then kind of white and red. But that's preliminary. I don't know for sure. We could do this now. I'm just gonna get let's get the Piper going though. This is rough. We had an opportunity to take one of those and didn't, and we made it was a reasonable pick, but it's about to get bad for us on that front. Might need to play the Giant just to trade off with it. We took, I think, the Beanstalk Giant. Is that right? I think we took Beanstalk Giant over it. I think if we're making rats to chump with, we're going to be too slow. We're going to let them have this one card and try and recover after this. Probably just going to have to make a Giant and trade it off. It's just too bad. That wasn't our goal here. But if we find something with 3 power off the top, we'll play that instead. Mainly we want to threaten a single creature with 3 power to trade with the Adversary. Yeah, that's reasonable. If we find a land, we can make the Spider, make a rat, and double block. Well, even that doesn't kill it, and we'll see. Now, we did find land, and so I suppose we are, at the very least... Well, okay, it's make a Spider, but what does that do for us? How are we getting this thing dead? And how are we getting this thing dead when it... Yeah, all right. I'll chump. I'll rat chump for now. Because the thing is, this is a huge problem as well. You know. Well, we'll see. Yeah, we could do Witch, Spider, and Rat on the Adversary and accept that 2 of them go down and 1 of them lives. Yes, James, that's absolutely true, but this does have a different application, and also part of its application is dealing with this problem, which is literally even bigger. So even though, yes, if all it did was kill things, we would kill this, it has the potential to do even more for us. Pump spell would be bad, but not even the worst. So I'm going to do it. This thing's got to die, or we're going to die. And if we can get rid of it without using up our giant opportunity, then we have a chance to also take out their giant. Or steal it, if they're going to let us keep the rats. Ugh. Can't do Conrad yet. We have 9 power to block the giant with the second rat and our 7/7, so even the 8/8 is not total doom. We could block with the Piper, but I don't. We have the Forever Young. Yeah, but I would rather. Yeah, that's true. It unlikely that they kill the Piper there. But yeah, that was probably correct. I think I made the wrong block there. You're right, James. This is a slight punt. The better thing to do would have been block, and after block, make the rat. And then we should keep everything except the giant, and instead we're giving up 2 creatures here. They didn't show pump last time, so I'm not going to put it on this time. Yeah, they could Gecko, but they would have had to just drawn it, because they could have wrecked us last turn with pump. So there's no way they could easily have it. They had to draw it. They would have to draw it. So it has to be the draw they drew off the top of their deck. So we could Conrad, but we could also Forever Young back a bunch of good stuff, including... Oh, I thought we had... This is the other game. Let's see. If we Forever Young... 1, 2, 3... Oh, we can. We can Forever Young and Witchstalker. I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, I want to try... Again, I want something to kill this, and I don't want it to be Conrad. So that's why I'm doing this. Because I'm willing to put the wolf in front of the adversary, but I don't want to put Conrad in front of the adversary. And... I'm going to take all of these, and we may mill away the spider with Conrad, but... Did I not click them all? What? Oh, brutal. All right, let's try and survive through that misclick. Obviously not what I intended to do. Wow. I did click 3 times. Wow. All right. Rough. I'm gonna maybe start chumping with rats a little bit here. Yeah, it's frustrating, but we'll try and prevail despite that. but my UI tilts don't hurt me in my soul nearly as much as just not seeing the lines or whatever. That's super rough. Play the spider again and make a rat again. Yeah, if it were actually highlighted and didn't give it to me, then I would file a claim, but I assume that I just assumed my click worked and didn't verify with my eyeballs that it did. Let's make another rat. We're giving them a card here. My favorite constructed format these days. Man, I don't really like, it's all abstract. I just don't really play constructed. I mean, I guess it's standard because that's what I play the most of. Oh, maybe we can make the Return of the Wild Speaker work. Let's see. This is not a human, human. This is instant. We can do it on defense if we feel that need. But I'm going to play Conrad and draw a bunch of cards. Oh, it's non-human. No, so we don't draw a bunch of cards off it either. All right, now we're going to use this to trade, hopefully, a rat for an adversary. And then we'll do Conrad after that. Yeah. Trouble is, Bognaughty kind of makes us need to double block. So I guess that's what we'll do. Man, so we're going to give up 3 cards, well, 2 cards and a token to try and take out the adversary, but we kind of have to, or else the Bognaughty just sacks food. And it can even do, is it tap? Oh my god, they get it twice? Like, we're just doomed. I think we're just doomed. But we might even just have to make them use it all and then drop Conrad and try to trade with Conrad. But we're in very bad shape here, folks. Very bad shape. A lot of damned if you do, damned if you don't right now. This is really just a play to make them use a bunch of resources, but it's taking a bunch of our resources to do so. Still, it's our best line. Make him chew up a bunch of resources here and drop Conrad next turn and hope that's good enough to get us there. Just so. Yeah. That's a good point. Maybe I should have worried about the Bognaughty, but Man, the times I need to walk away from the game are when I make those missed line punts. That's what kills me. Missing lethal is what makes me want to walk away from the game. All right, Conrad, we're asking a lot of you, buddy. We're basically gonna have to give him cards. I don't think we can trade off Conrad right here and expect to win. Yeah, the wolf had a job. It was going to enter the battle. It was going to be a 4/4 to block this adversary with. Although they had the Bognati and food thing, I think, so even that might not have worked. But yeah, we just gotta say no blocks, give them some extra cards, hope it's all land, and hope that we get enough life from this, and Conrad just goes bonkers. That's kind of our only hope here. And that basically does it in, because now they've got another Bognati activation. I like Oppo's black-green deck better than ours. They got a lot of the same cards, but the Bognati and the double adversary is really nice. Mike wanted to mill. I just feel like, Mike, we had to eat the food at some point, or we're going to lose to that. I guess we'll play Keeper and Mill, or is that too slow? Yeah, we need... we're just doomed. We are just doomsicles. Ah, I have a third. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 from the witch. All right, I'm scooping. We're just totally done here. We can't win. We're gonna block both, and then how do we win? We just can't. There's nothing off the top that after that we could make plays that we survive, but then we have no outs to actually win. Nice deck, Oppo. Nice UI, Wizards. Or rather, nice perf, Wizards. The UI is fine. The interface itself is fine. The responsiveness could use a little help right now. I've been there. I was on that team. I know they know it. I'm sure the suffering performance is a major topic of conversation and priority on the arena team right now. I think performance is an ongoing problem with games in general. Yeah, I mean, it's just something that you keep an eye on, keep working on. You introduce new features and go, oops, the performance took a huge hit, but we really need to get this feature out the door. Let's get it out the door and then fix performance. That kind of thing happens. We're again on a 5-lander, but I'm going to again keep it. We have a 3 and a nice 4. Yeah, things can just change. New stuff. Oh, man. We're going to try and get a food out of this cabin. Worst case, we go turn 4, Reaper. Turn 5, cabin for no value, second Reaper. Yikes. That's a good one. Hopefully we steal 4 cards, and that helps us overcome. That is not a forest, so it doesn't actually help the gingerbread cabin, but it does enter untapped and will help us cast stuff in the future. Go ahead and run this out now. And drop the spider. Round 3, casual. Record should be correct down there. Just round 3, game 1. So, classic Eldraine. I've been streaming for over 2 hours, and I know I can get a little bit late of a start on my drafting sometimes, but this is just a grindy, long game format. I was saying at the outset that I'm looking forward to best of 1 because I think I can actually finish an entire event without having to neglect the rest of my life. We could do a turn 5 Reaper, but I'm more interested in stripping their hand while we can. Do both? What do you mean do both? Yeah, well, we Reaper once this turn, then Reaper again next turn. That's my plan, yeah. Let's see what they pitched. All right, well. Innkeeper, solid. You know, you love it when you can get their last 2 cards with a Reaper, but I'm not going to be greedy about this. I think I'm because of the giant, though, I am going to be greedy about the cabin. Because we can just go get the other forest we need to turn on the cabin. And this is going to help us power out some stuff. Well, we're going to eventually, but I'm going to... I do want to get the... do the second Reaper now. I mean, that's rough. And we get these later as 4/5s? That's going to be hard for them to beat, even if the Innkeeper gets them another draw. So all this Reaper... Who can reap the Reaper before the Reaper reaps your hand? Yeah, somebody clip it and we'll... No, don't yet. I don't have to clip it. We'll... we can talk about it the next time Hat shows up. Well, we can do both. I am going to start with a beanstalking. That gets us a forest. And we still get to play the cabin. Can't do the add 6 quite yet. We could Reeve or outmuscle here. Doesn't seem like they have another adventure like at the ready. And if they do, they probably want to cast the adventure side of it first anyway. So I'd probably just Reeve the Preserver before it gets out of hand and we can outmuscle later. Or we could outmuscle now. Let's outmuscle the Preserver now. Uses all our mana. We could attack, but they have a clean block with the Tempting Witch, even though our spider is indestructible. Hopefully this is just too much value. I think we just got too much value. Oh, so they did get it. I think they got that off the top, but all right. Still think we're solid. Mike, are you suggesting Reeve for this turn, or are we so out of sync that you were suggesting I Reeve last turn? Oh yeah, we were going to Reeve the Innkeeper. And then we can actually still create 6 to do a... Well, I guess we can't do any of these for 6. Not much yet, but... This is going to be, this Return of the Wild Speaker with these out will be nice. All right. We also might want to Reeve the Witch. I think we're going to be fine. It almost doesn't matter what we do here. I think we've taken a commanding lead. Do we want both of these? Maybe. It's an instant. Maybe it felt like they were out of adventure cards and needed to draw it off the top. Well, because it could get us back this stuff, which could be even worth even more, is all I'm saying. But these are both instants, so I'm going to say I'm not going to do anything here. I think maybe it would... Well, we could make it big and save it. I just don't think that's worth it. They can have it. Just have to not die, and I think we're going to be okay on that front. McWhalen agreed. And I forgot to mention, hey, look, it's another Golgari mirror. Oh, Gary. Memory Theft seems good against this Oppo. They're doing the adventure thing pretty hard. We didn't see any Raven. We didn't see anything particularly worth returning to nature, but I liked the giant opportunity against green-black because they don't have the bounce that makes this really bad. despite their nice performance. That's been my experience so far in Nantuko. I'm willing to be shown the light of what aggro decks can work. Somebody else earlier was saying aggro was working for them. So in that way that we're all trying to figure out this format, there are some people who are coming to the conclusion that aggro is viable. Yeah, it was Scott. That's right. All right, what are we cutting here to bring in this stuff? Since I brought in Memory Theft, I am going to cut 1 Reaper. And one... Innkeeper or Curious Pair? If we cut Curious Pair, Innkeeper is worse. Maybe just cut the Spider, actually. I'm gonna cut the Spider. It was only an MVP because it was a creature. Like, it's not like it blocked flyers in hyper important ways. There it goes. Did I save? Do you mean did we get the changes in? Yeah, there's the giant opportunity. And we do get food token number 1, food token number 2, so we're again looking at a giant on 5. Not going to wait for the Innkeeper, we're just going to send out the Curious Pair. Yeah, I'm liking... well, this is where I'm like... I've brought it in a couple times now against the green-black matchup because it doesn't face bounce, yeah. No black cards in hand yet, so in case we draw our... I'm going to play a forest, because if we draw our cabin in the woods, we can actually giant opportunity next turn. Sad not to do anything on 3, though. Oppo's Revenge here. We're going to get rid of 1 swamp and 1 forest, though. Oh, I saw this special green land. I'm like, paid! But no, not quite. Just going to do it this way. Argument for the Paladin. Uses all our mana. Of course, this is bigger. I'm going to start with an attack. Not as mana efficient, but I'm going to go with the biggest thing we can make. Yeah, I don't know what they were up to with nothing on 5. That is kind of weird, huh? Well, we had to give up our swamp before. I knew that would make Sir Conrad less viable, but still felt correct. Okay. Are there sweepers in black I should be worried about? We're in that looks like we're going to win, how do we lose from here mode. And I don't think a -3 sweeper gets it done, right? So I'm going to play this. I think we got this one. Seems like we got this one. Nice. All right. We got gems back. That match didn't take a million years. And I'm going to take a short bio break. I'll update the record. Here, I'll play you the... this was the other song I was considering using for today. For my... the black slot for my Wooburg Fairy Tales is Big Bad Wolf by Shaky Graves. So I'm going to play you that, and I'll be right back. All right, I have swallowed. I can talk. Seemed like an obvious mole. A little bit unsure of... Ooh, let's go... I was going to drop the Piper, but with the Curious Pair, let's drop the Rider. And then we can make food, make the Piper next turn, and even sack the food to lure if we feel that's necessary. Have not gone off with the Piper, no. Come on, Nantuko. You can handle it. Let's just play this way the whole time. I can make my portrait even bigger. No, all right. There is flash. I guess if they flash in a creature, we're fine with that anyway. We'll go here. Create a food token. Start the piping. Everybody's playing black. And of course, this is one of the big problems of the bot system. It's not even that whether or not you think the bots draft well or not. It's that wherever they're weak, the meta is going to be way overwhelmed with those types of decks because the 7 other decks drafted in your pod aren't being played, right? One of the reasons I like Tome Raider, a 1/1 is a real creature. Like, it just makes this really annoying. Like, I don't want to trade that off now. And I'm not gonna. I'm not going to take a turn off to make it rat here, though. We're going to definitely play our Stalker, so I'm going to send in the Piper. Nobody's following me. I'm not sending in Maraleaf Rider until I can lure something in to block it that we like to kill. This is now basically a three damage removal spell to me. Particularly in the face of the Raider. I think it's strong enough as is. It doesn't need trample. It's a 3/1 for 2. That can do extra at common. If you want to trample it, you got to put that at like uncommon. No, it's not pod drafting, but at least the metagame mama is made up of every deck that gets drafted is played. So you don't play against your pod, which has some people, you know, you think arena bot drafting is inauthentic or whatever. There's many people who just loathe that anything out of pod drafting. I don't know if Zach is still here, but our friend Matthew basically stopped playing Magic Online because of the out of pod drafting. I don't think they're there anymore. If they are, they don't fire very much. Now we're gonna get witchy stocky here and start making rats. Well, belay that order. We're gonna do food and food. Kind of want to leave the pair in the side in exile until we find our innkeeper. Yeah, unless arena bots are programmed to self-adjust as data comes in, they will never feel truly human-like. Sleazy Griffin. Does literal 0 right now, but should be useful eventually. I'm gonna play one of the Curious Pair, but we'll Piper it up with the other mana. Man, I want the banana. I really want to eat the corkscrew banana. I'm kind of obsessed with that banana. Media, do you mean neglecting it on the arena feature front or neglecting it in the balance of the set? I'm not sure where you're... Siratemi asks, why are dog farts so bad? Have you seen what we feed them? Yeah, let's get out muscle. That'd be great. Random asides? Siratemi, you're in the right place for random asides. Oppo thinks they're racing. That seems a bit crazy to me. I know you made it a 4-4, but I would be like, defense. Hey, Nantuko, you have a nice day too. Okay, does this let us go crazy? Yes, because the rider is... These are human, but we can send this, this, and this. And we can even send these because they attack well anyway. I think we're just going to maybe win right here. Welcome back. There could be a runaway together. We're going to make them have it. There is a pause here, so maybe they do. But no matter what, we're getting in for some good smacking here. Oh, good one. Not what we thought, but still pretty good. Hey, borrower. I think still dead meant like they're still going to lose this game, maybe not that they were guaranteed dead. Although now if Oppo has the old Reaper, we're going to be sad to lose Once in Future and Witchstalker. But we still have our Piper and a nice life lead if that's the case. Oh yeah, if somebody, Steven may have been counting humans as non-humans and thought they were still dead. Once in Future, still only the one card in the yard, but not bad to get that back too, with Once in Future. What does this do? Ah, you can cast artifacts in yard. Okay. Yeah, Rider's an elf knight. Keep forgetting the knight side of this rider. It's a knight rider. Yeah, I could do a Hasselhoff meme on the knight rider. How about a land so that we can make a rat and recast this stalker? You didn't like running this out? I thought our worst case scenario wasn't that bad. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Like they could have done this on as a flash. Yeah, sure. They played it like it was sorcery. I see what you're talking about. All right, we got our 2. That's nice. Well, looks like they may have a counter here, but we have Once in Future if that's the case. Once in Future, this will actually help stock our yard a bit. We got Out Muscle now, waiting for us there. $16 virtual million. Yeah, I guess that fox is named Kit, huh? Oh, they actually found a artifact. Nice. Rat overrun incoming. That's a good line, Haj. They're looking at the Piper now, though. Maybe they're trying to try and take it out. This is instant, too, so we can just surprise them at the end of their turn. Or wait until their shields are down and make sure we resolve it. Let's see. Dead rat, probably? Or are they going to send back the Piper? Sending back the Piper. That's all right. There's not much else. And they either kill the rat or set us back on tempo. I think any color can be non-human, but the non-human rewards seem to be heavy in green. They are tapped out, so we're going to do it all on this turn. Yeah, maybe we just get the Witch and start doming. And we can still drop the Piper, I think. Let's see. Well, we're going to do this for sure. Let's start here. And I want to do it while they're tapped out. We can get... How about the Witch and the Wild Speaker here? I like that. I think the Witch is in some ways the more important piece. But we're on a good pace to burn them out from here. They're at a virtual -9. All right, now they're virtual -6. Now they're starting to get wide enough that maybe we don't have the return attack. Yeah, Norbert's suggesting using this as a sorcery to help inform our attack decisions in case they counter it. Wise. Especially if they don't play the Brazen Borrower, which screams that this is something relevant. Kind of makes me not want to do anything and not go for it here. And we just feels like yeah, we could put down the Piper at least as something to cast. I'm not gonna go for this though. Let's play the pair first and see if we sense counter magic. Well, there's a pause. It doesn't mean anything because they've got things that could be a pause for. We're definitely throwing some apples, but we can do that while still casting stuff. I think we're going to get countered here, but that's fine. Oh, not countered, then I think they're in big trouble. Oh, I see. The borrower had flash. You're silly, Ryan. I was thinking the borrower did not have flash, and I've already stopped reading cards because I am a pro. I'm not sure I started reading cards. I think I read them all once. Yeah, they're dead on board with double Witch, so they got to. Well, they can gain some life here, so they're not super dead on board. We might need to eat some food ourselves, but. Not yet. We're at 16. It's fine. That's a good point. We can super lure with Mariel. Let's see what they want to do. I'm pretty content to sit back and chuck apples at their face. I don't want to take any big risks into cards and open mana is the thing. Which one, Mabinap? Super lure? and then they bounce it and the lure completely goes away and all of our apples are gone, and then we suddenly lose a game that we were 99 to win. How are they rebuying the egg? Oh, with Emery? Good point. Oh, well now they gave the game away. You're right. They had a loop for rebuying the egg, but they just gave it away. All right. Yeah, Oppo just handed us this one. And this is kind of what I mean. I've been punting all week so far, but it just feels like Oppos have been making even bigger mistakes that have helped us pull out some profitable events. And now I think we just win. Go right down the line here. Yeah, that was kind of a gift for us, I think. Oppo could have made that tougher for us. She's not like, yeah, she's just a creature. That egg loop was pretty sweet. Got to worry about that. Yeah, let's bring in Return to Nature. One Return to Nature, one Fell the Pheasant. Cutting. We're on the draw, which makes me like Reaper a little less. We're cutting one Reaper as a kind of cut number one, and then the second cut's a little tougher. Spore Cap's too good here. I think I'm going to cut the Innkeeper, because the next thing over Innkeeper is like Curious Pair, and that just makes the Innkeeper worse. And the food has been pretty useful for us, so I think I'm going to go with this. The legend that says tap, you can play target artifact in your graveyard this turn. Solid looking start right here. And the Witch on 3. Clean living. Or Beanstalk on 3, we can decide. Rider on 2, though. Yeah, the deck looks solid. We lost to an even better looking green-black deck in our one loss. But we've played against 100% black so far, I believe. Yeah, Rampant to Keeper, you're not wrong, especially because they're not... Okay, they dropped an Eye Collector. Let's do that. And we'll get a forest. We have 2 black for our uncommon, Conrad. And now we have the 3 forests to turn on our gingerbread cabin. Yeah, Sir Conrad is doing some serious work in the format. If we are facing 4 cards and 5 mana on our main phase from Oppo, we're not going to send out our risky stuff, but maybe we'll send out a Tempting Witch. Tempt them with the Tempting Witch, maybe? Don't have a lot of respect for the Eye Collector as a... But I guess if you really need that, if you're really wanting to do the mill thing, but again, the 1/1 flyer for 1 just often doesn't have enough board impact. And of course, they are indeed saying, what you gonna do? And I don't want to offer them, I don't want to give them this. Oh yeah, they had a counter last game, but we'll give them a Tempting Witch. This is good, but not amazing for us, and they are likely to counter it, and then that'll hopefully fill up the yard for once in future. Now they're gonna let that happen. Because I wanted, because if they countered it, then we have more information on the attack. I wanted to see if they were going to counter that, really. Is why I did that first. Post-combat, you mean, Colin? I don't know. Well, even if they didn't have anything, at least we accomplished stuff with our mana, and they didn't really do anything with theirs other than they're so tiny. I don't really care about any of this bounce. I guess we get to replay the Witch, but mainly we get to drop the Keeper. Or they can just not do anything. Like, there's a good reason for them just to decline here. Oh no, it's not even a May. They have to. Okay. Not a May. Yeah, let's drop the Keeper while the coast is clear. What do you say? Looks like they're going to kill it, maybe? Well, we got a lot of action back behind, so... Maybe you're thinking of tapping it. Could be. I always get nervous whenever there's highlighting over my stuff. I assume it's going to die, but yeah, early on, it's definitely a lot of what does this card do type reading. I just assume everybody's like me and stops reading cards after the first day of the format. Wow, they need more black. Oh, they needed something else in the graveyard. Got it. Well... we could go Rider Reeve, or just start reclaiming stuff. Outmuscle and Keeper would not be a bad once in future to do while shields are down. I think I like that over anything else I see here as the options go. All right, got some land there again, showing counter magic. And what do we want to do with about that? I think I want to... maybe we could just give them the Keeper. They'd counter it, and then we just have all this other action coming. That might not be the worst. Yeah, we just... let's run out the Rider. But then I don't know if we want to, like, Tree Folk it. They're going to counter. They would so counter the Tree Folk. The question is, do we want that? And I guess let's start here. And we do have at least one Forever Young in here. So if they counter the Tree Folk and it goes to the yard, we might be able to get it back later. Sure feels like counter incoming, but let's make him have it. Please let me cast this Oaken Boon upon my Marleaf Riders. Please, Oppo, please. Hey, it worked. I cannot believe that resolved. But I don't know how good... it might be that they decline just because they have bounce or something. Like, here comes the Thief, you know, the new Vendilion click. Could just bounce that. Or that. So it may be that they have counters and they just are like, ah, we can bounce that. That's true. They just screwed it up, though, right? Yeah, that was an Oppo punt for sure. We get this in the yard because of that, or in exile. Yeah, because Magic is hard, and Oppos are screwing up as much as I am and more. So, been punting a lot, been maintaining a win percentage because it's a hard format. It's tripping up a lot of people on a lot of little edges. Well, I'm going to take this. Ooh, glad they didn't draw that. We suck to lose one of these and one of these. If they had bounced the creature out from under us, then we would not even be able to cast this from exile. It would be in the graveyard. Well, let's give them a shot to... actually, let's reap. Reap first. No, I'm gonna Marleaf first, and then we'll try the reap. So they counter this. Now we're under some pressure here. But we do have some food to eat. And if they counter this, we're thrilled, because then we take the last 2 cards out of their hand. Please counter it, Oppo. Ah, they wanted to, and then they didn't. Probably a good move on their part. All right, well, we're going to get this countered. Or they don't have a counter. But if they counter this, then we get to resolve this stuff. And hopefully that will be in time. Again, we're under a little bit of pressure here. Might even choose to triple block the scavengers. Oh, I forgot to say please. So this one counts. All right. We have not milled our Forever Young. That's one of the key things we do not want to see milled here. Now, are we going to try and block this and kill it? No, we have enough beef coming that I think we should just attack here. Only in flavor magic, Steven. Only in flavor magic. And, as such, didn't say please is terrible in flavor magic. Because all you need is a polite opponent, and it's useless. And they had the borrower. All right. Now we're going to have to Reeve Soul the Brazen Borrower, it looks like. Getting smacked around a bit, and about to face an Air Force, so we need a little help here. More food would have been okay. Strong play. At least it puts shields. Maybe it doesn't. I don't. Yeah, there's no. Oh, they got wheels, so shields are not down. Never mind. Well, they by doing so they still can. It's taps from any color. Still have our Forever Young in there somewhere. And our Spider. If we get a land, I think we're going to try Keeper and Reeve. Okay, now our shields are way down. So we can go... We could outmuscle something. I think we want to outmuscle the flyer, though, because we could do... We can double spell here, or really triple spell if we want to go Farron, Ryder, Reeve. But we really want to Reeve the eventual Brazen Borrowers, and we want something on the ground that can at least block here. So we need to do Tree Folk or Keeper. Maybe we just... How does that let us wall the... Yeah, I'm going to get Tree Folk out. Next turn, we may have to eat some food and, you know, outmuscle something, or Reeve, Ryder, eat. They don't know about the Reeve. They know about the Outmuscle. Festive Funeral. Still clunky as hell, but these games go so long, this isn't as bad as I was thinking it was originally. You still want better removal, but... Getting a little bit out resourced here. I mean, we're trying to overcome a resolved... Where is it? Oh, is it gone? Oh, into the story. Like, hard to beat a resolved into the story. Conrad. Hey, Hat. We've been talking about you today because it has been a non-stop Reaper battle today. Reaper v Reaper v Reaper. We Reaper their Reaper so we don't lose. They Reapered our Reaper so we lose. Okay, so let's focus here. We got this pheasant, so we can get the Brazen Borrower at instant speed. That's nice. Maybe that means we just need to Reeve Soul the other one. We could Reeve, Fell, and Eat. And they're going to take out the Tree Folk. And so maybe we don't... Reeve is power, right? Maybe take out the Sage. Yeah, we could outmuscle something here, but then we'd have to... Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe we just need to outmuscle and get rid of this huge thing, and that saves us a lot of damage, because if we don't kill it, we're gonna have to take it. And maybe by doing this, we don't have to eat. We're not attacking. We got, well, unless we really, unless it's like, why would you do it that way? Oh, because outmuscle is, no, we need to do it this way. We need the access to the, no! Come on! That's a bummer. All right, we're going to get him in 3. I thought I had, honestly, I thought I had an hourglass. I thought I was on 1, not 0. So it just, like, didn't do anything? What? It ate up my mana and didn't do anything? Oh, yikes. It was a good line, I just didn't execute it in time. Frustrating, but... I'm actually almost at scoop here. Hard to win when you throw away 4 mana. At least we didn't throw away a card, but we just threw away so much right there. Just gonna go for felling this pheasant. If they have the counter here, obviously we just lose on the spot. Can't even believe that we're somehow still in this. But we're not really. They're gonna use this and we're just dead. That was punishing. We actually had a line to potentially take this one, but Slowpoke Ryan was punished. Okay, we're at 3. Well, we can get the flyers and eat. Or maybe get a flyer and get the sage and eat. I'll do this. Get 1 flyer at least. So their loop is in effect. This is pretty silly, really. First pick Emery, get every golden egg you can find, and how do you lose? All right, we got some mana. That's going to give us a couple of plays at least. And the Keeper can bounce with the Scavengers, and the Henge Hammer and Witch can trade for the suit. Although they have the wheel. I think the wheel gets us here, doesn't it? Maybe we just have to put out... this dude... I wanted the Keeper, but the wheel makes the Keeper not a great play, actually. We need more stuff. This is frustrating because, man, if I had executed the play as intended a few turns ago, we might have a chance in this one, but we're pretty far back here. Especially with their Emery loop about to get going. $12 in their library to 6 in ours, so we're also losing on deck size, but they haven't milled our Forever Young yet, so we're actually ahead on deck size, assuming they don't do any more mill. Somehow throwing away 4 mana and passing the turn with no play with it has not killed us yet. Somehow. So good. But we draw Forever Young and somehow stall this out, and maybe we can just bury their library. Boo. I think we still survive, though. Albeit with significant chumping. Although we're at a virtual 8, so we can maybe even take an attack from one of these 4/5s. Yeah, I think we have to take the 4/5. Look to trade over here. It's still a 1-for-1 too. Unless I should read this. Maybe it says something on it that... Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. And we block here. Maybe so, but what are we going to do? Map and Apple, maybe we can somehow get their library to 0. Maybe. It doesn't look likely, but... Is this target player? No, of course we can't make them draw. And it was still a 1-for-1, so that's important as well. Tempting Witch can make us some more food. We have 7 mana, so we could go Witch, Rider, Eat. I really feel like I'm wasting everybody's time here. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how... I don't think it's likely that we win here. And it's going to take another 15 minutes to to figure it out. But hey, this is the format they have given us. Oh yeah, I know that's kind of what we're here for. I'm just saying it's very unlikely that we're pulling this out. We're just kind of making them work really hard for it, which I like doing as well. Like I feel like, especially with some of the plays Baloo here has made, I feel like if the roles were switched, Baloo would have already scooped this game, you know? I like making people work for it within reason. Tireless Slacker, I'm worried about this format on Arena. And I'm worried about the format in general. I think it's a super complex format, and the games are incredibly grindy. I don't know how many draws there were in shops around the country, around the world over the weekend, but it just feels like, are you serious? All right, I'm done now. That's enough to be done. Three Moonlight-Lit Scavengers is a bit much, but I suppose they're trying to do the artifact thing. And to that end, I want another Return to Nature in now. And I'm going to cut 1 Curious Pair for that. I played Baloo the Bear in my first theater experience I ever did. I was in the 5th grade. I could probably still sing the songs. Well, now my name's Baloo, my friends. I'm sure glad to see you, my friends. How nice that you dropped in to pay a call. Oh, it gets so lonesome here, away out on my lonesome here. That's why I hibernate each year come fall. Wherever I wander, wherever I roam, I've never been fonder of my own home. The bees are buzzing in the trees, and now I forget the words from here. But you've got to admit, that was pretty good for something I learned back in the 5th grade. Tapped that. Let's see. Any reason to play the 4? No, we just want the swamp. Get another swamp with Beanstalk. I do love me some karaoke. You ever come to Seattle, let's go do some karaoke. Actually, that's weird. I think I meant a Beanstalk, but that's all right. We do need our second swamp for Sir Conrad. We could just cycle this, but seems too valuable, especially against Grindy Oppo. So I'm going to save that. And someone was calling out during the draft that, a problem with Sir Farron is that if you don't pump him up, he just tends to die on the attack. So that's true, but we'll see if we can pump him up at some point. Yep. Out muscle would be great. Well, we got like nothing to do here, which is unfortunate. But the Beanstalk Giant, if it resolves, would be nice. Unfortunately, I think they're probably going to leave their mana up, threatening the counterspell, and will make us nervous about it. Although we might do it anyway, because then we could once and future it back. Reapers were doing work, that's all I'm saying. You'll be in the B's by the end of this format, Hat, or you'll be in denial. Play something else, play something else. Yeah, it depends on whether you're talking about grading for draft position or grading for impact on games. I don't think you need to prioritize them highly, but they perform like a B when you're running them. All right. Well, 7 mana, so we're going to cast the Witch Stalker and they'll counter that and we'll get the Beanstalk Giant instead, we hope. Or we can just do nothing. But, we got Forever Young. We got Once and Future. Let's start trading. Because, hey, if they mill us, we might be quite happy to Forever Young a bunch of stuff. Or Once and Future it. Hey, Rooster, I have driven through Spokane, but I've never had occasion to go there and, like, visit or anything. Yeah, I like Sir Conrad into Fierce Witch Stalker. Let's go ahead and use the Forever Young, because we can get it back with Once and Future, too, if we need, and shields are down here. Okay, I'm going to be very careful. Look, there it's highlighted in total orange. Look, they're both highlighted. Hooray, we did it. And are we going to do anything? Yeah, we'll put Conrad on top. I don't think... Yeah, it doesn't matter. We're going to draw the other one. Do we see a pause? They were tapped out, though. Weren't they tapped out? This is true. They can mill us. Good point. Well, I like Conrad then. Good call, James. That's how I didn't notice last time. I like a 7/7 too if they're going to give us the window for it. They did not equip, so probably getting a bounced giant here or something. They have bounce, 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 but they don't think they want to bounce the Beanstalk Giant. We'd be okay with that, right? I mean, they have endless 4/5 bouncers. Oh, thanks for asking, Nantuko. She is enjoying it, and it's I miss her, but it's an interesting new dynamic in the house. There was a lot of sibling clashing going on that is now gone. You know, that's nice. The fight level has dropped in the house, but I miss her, but she's doing great. Nope. My youngest is 16. He'll be 17 this November. In fact, the first time I ever streamed on Going Optimal was on my son's birthday. So I can remember my stream birthday because it's my son's birthday. All right, they're showing yet more counter action. Is this the deck where let's see, I can see opponent. We know they have... Don't they have the Mythic in this one? I'm losing track of all of our blue opponents, but I'm pretty sure they have the bounce. Anyway, we're going to send in Beanstalk. Yeah, Brazen Borrower, but worse things than getting a Beanstalk Giant bounced. Okay, so they get food because of Adamant, but that's all right. I'm cool with that, Oppo. We're going to try and... They're getting their grind on, though. Their long game involves more attrition than ours. No, we've only played against green, blue, and black. That's it. 100%. Yeah, I remember that. Nice. Well, I'm glad you certainly must have you must have felt it with me that day, right, Mama? Like, oh, this is my streamer. I know his feels. We'll get swamps for more Conrad activations. Oppo's deck is a PETA. Get some hummus to make it through this. Well, Baloo, you've made some pretty suspect plays, but that one's all right. That one is awfully good. Still, it's not exiled, right? So we do get to out, you know, yeah, they pretty much had to take our once and future. We were just going to get it back. So we still have good tools here. I just feel like we're falling behind against the deck that's going to out-resource us and just bounce everything we've got. So I think we're pretty far behind here, even if it doesn't feel like it yet. We needed to be a little bit more aggro against the control components they've got going on. So this may be where our event ends. Getting crushed by bears. Baloo, that being the bear in question. Yeah, Rocky, if you're trying to play Magic on your lunch break, you can't really do it right now if you're playing Throne of Eldraine Limited. But I do feel like this may be our favorite best of one format of all time. There is only best of 3 right now, so. All right, we got 9. We got Witch Stalker. They know all of our cards, of course. I'm just going to play both of our creatures and not outmuscle yet. Good one, Razor. Although I think because of that, I think I would be a disaster in this format on Magic Online. I need my hour and 20 minutes to finish a match. Let's see, we're at 21, they're at 28, so... All right. Well, the outmuscle is going to be a free attack. Let's see. And we can get Sir Farron up a little bit, and this can start attacking, so that's good. All right. I kind of like where we're at. On terms of, we'll go this and this. Pay Adamant, of course. Block as you wish, Shoppo. Quarter monitor on Sir Farron, pretty obvious, but maybe less obvious from there. Interesting. Maybe dead artifact means the legendary is coming down shortly. They had to know that when they made a set around food, around life gain, everybody gets life gain, that it was going to be like this. Yeah, the spinning wheel is annoying. Looking for some enchantment and artifact removal now. We got a couple of those in the deck. None of them in the yard so far, right? Oh, no, one is in the yard. There's one more in the deck, though. And here comes the scavengers. Bottomless scavengers. Counter reset on Sir Farron. Now, how do we have our... all right, we still have our Tree Folk in the deck, too. Tree Folk would be nice. Well, but you hear about... but James is saying it's happening on Magic Online, too, where people are playing... where all the decks in the pod are actually being played. Fables is nice. Doesn't let us get through right now or anything, but maybe we can get wide enough here. Start chucking some fruit even. Okay, James. So maybe it is a little faster in draft on sealed, yeah, on Magic Online, don't know. I suppose maybe we could have held that knowing that they had Festive Funeral. I don't know, I didn't really think about it, honestly. Because they probably would have gone Witch Stalker if we just held that. Looks like they're going to send the Queen. We're just going to take it. No, and they're not. They're just staying on D. Maybe it's time to start... I'm going to start chucking food. With the... Well, we have plenty of mana. Maybe I don't need to. I shouldn't do it. Yeah, we have plenty of mana. Oh, we have plenty of mana. Let's hide this one, though. Could suicide Sir Farron to get the Stalker through, but that doesn't really do anything for us. Doesn't even get it through. The food doesn't have other uses except for the 3/1 guy, which I think is it dead yet? No, not yet. We did alpha once in this event off of that, so it's a possibility to wait for that. Uh-oh. Forever Young incoming. I'm going to block here like this. Try for the 1-for-1. I know, but I don't think we're beating much action. Ooh, it looks like we get it. Okay. The mass pump is non-human. We got a couple of humans here, unfortunately. And now we're the ones being threatened by poisonous apples. Hey, good time zone, Tron. How you doing? Let's see. The Tree Folk would probably still be pretty good. We could get this to a 4/4, and that does some stuff for us. Yes, Broodstart is a stream tradition. And there's the Forever Young we kind of sussed out from the highlighting on the graveyard. What's the play here? I'm going to throw a food at them. Action! Well... not a land, at least. I didn't call it action, but I did call it not a land. Well, if we drew Garrick, I'd have to report a bug. Huh, they're going the life route. Interesting. All right. I wasn't sure we even wanted to chuck food since they could do it back. Mama, this format is something else. And by that I mean grindy and long. I'm going to go ahead and... I know the pair taps down here, but I don't want to take 5, so we're going to take 3. And accept that Hansel and Gretel are tapped. I don't think Wizards wanted it to be... I don't know. It seems so obvious to me that this is what would happen. Cancel. I think we need to eat our own food here. So I'm just gonna pass. We have lots of mana. Alright, alright, alright. That's something. What do we need to get with this? The Tome Raider is gonna start flying over with that equipment. That's pretty bad. The Witch can chuck food, but only has 1 to chuck right now. And we can double block the Witch. Maybe we can't. Broodstar, the floor on Forever Young is 2 mana draw a card, and that's just an excellent floor, right? That's your floor. That's not bad. We gotta reeve something, but nothing here is great to reeve. Like, the Witch is tempting, no pun intended, but that's just because it's wearing the skewer. Yes, the Witch can throw this food at us, but then what? I think actually it's Tome Raider, because the Tome Raider picks up the skewer, and then what are we doing? We're dying. So, feels bad, but we're going to take out the flyer because that's the thing that we can't defend against if it starts wearing that skewer. Well, Luvas, that's extreme. I don't... If you just had a card that said, and all it did was 1 in a black draw card, you would never play that. I'm just saying, but as a floor, being able to cycle it is pretty good. Because when it's awesome, it's incredible. So accepting a little bit of inefficiency in your mana use when you need to cycle it in exchange for kind of winning the end game is worth it. Speaking of natural mill out, 24 to 16. We're in chump mode. Or we could eat a lot of food. I think we have to... Well, maybe we're in eat a lot of food mode. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Take 8. You mean this week's stuff? I might be behind this week. I think I'm a little behind on my my entries this week. But we went 4 and 2 on Monday, 3 and 2 yesterday. This line gives us more possibility of trading if we draw good off the top. All right, Dak, help us out. We need big time help here. Uh-oh, Oppo's reading their spinning wheel. That's bad news for us, too. I can't believe we're gonna lose to someone who just did that. That is not action. Looks like it will all be over soon, though, folks. All be over soon. Oh, now they figured it out. Bummer. And we have to double chump or the Tempting Witch finishes us off. James, it's viable if the cards are good, and it depends on how... Like, if your deck is full of bombs, you should probably just try and get to your bombs faster and beat mill that way. But if your deck is fairly average in terms of its power level across the spectrum, and you have some obvious playables in your board, you could do a lot worse. Yeah. It's not generally what you want to do if you've got stuff going on, but there are circumstances where I would do it, but it takes a fairly even power throughout your deck plus a lot of playables in the board. All right, David, you got it. Thanks for hanging. I'm on Spinning Wheel over Banner, but I guess if you're mono, Banner has some nice application. All right, well, he's big, but now Oppo knows to tap. Yeah, wheel's real. What goes up must come down. Yeah, I guess I'll make my own memes. We did. I'm just in denial now. All right, let's give it up. You did it, Baloo. Gored by the bear. Funny. Little gem reward here for the old free-to-play. I'll make a note of that. It's funny. This is our worst performance of the week, but it's maybe our best performance of the week. Which is to say, we only got 2 wins today, which is nice. We got some gems back. But I felt like my play was a bit tighter today. We had an unfortunate misclick UI and an unfortunate like timeout punt where I got roped with 0 hourglass, and that basically cost us a chance. Can't remember if we ended up winning that match though or not. Or is that this one? Again, the format, everything takes so long. It feels like I played 7 one-hour games here, so I can't even figure out what opponent it was. But I would say by and large the play improved today. So I'm going to be thankful that we got some gems. I'm going to be thankful that we punted less today and seem to be getting a handle on the format. I'm going to be thankful that this event is finally over. My God, it's almost 1, and we only played 4 matches. And I'm going to be thankful that I have lovely people that hang out with me while I play Magic in the mornings. It is a bright spot in my days to be with you here. And I hope to see you again tomorrow. Thanks, YouTubers, for tuning in. And we're still doing great. We're building up our gold. Gonna claim this prize here. I guess we'll go open the packs. Although I think, you know what? I'm gonna start waiting for the 10x. I love the 10x. We're gonna do 10x pack opening until until gem grinding matters. So, yeah, let's be grateful for all that we have. You know, I'm a lucky guy, and I try to hold on to that every day. And appreciate all of you, and hope you come back and hang with me tomorrow. Let's see if we got anybody. I'll say goodbye to YouTube now. See you, YouTube.